The So Bangkok on the southern edge of Lumphini Park is a stylish, design-forward hotel with lots on offer. See if it's a good pick for your next trip to Bangkok coming up. I've been wanting to stay here for years, and honestly, I don't know why I didn't sooner. The design and the story are what drew me to it, but these views are the impression that it left. Let's take a very quick look at where we are. The hotel is located at the northern tip of Sathorn, a major commercial and office district in downtown Bangkok. But that's not to say it's not convenient to other areas as well. It's well placed with multiple MRT stations close by, as well as a BTS station on Silom Road. As you already imagined, there's also easy access to a litany of 7-Elevens, and of course plenty of Starbucks and Boots around as well. Look at that corner on the bottom left, 5 Starbucks at one intersection. The hotel, with 238 rooms, opened in 2012 and has 2 entrances. One on Rama 9 Road and the other, which is primarily used for hotel guests, on North Sathorn Road. The entrance is very nondescript, the doors looking like they may have come from a penitentiary or something. As we step inside, you'll immediately see that this is not your average city hotel. So properties, originally known as So Sofitel, are owned by Accor, and in their words, get ready for it, quote, a vivid cocktail of luxury, sophistication, and style. An audacious burst of local energy with an unmistakable playful twist. An edge that sets the experience apart. Fashionable and social, it's the place to be and be seen, connecting the like-minded. If you like that description, wait until we describe the room. Each So property is developed in collaboration with a fashion designer. Kenzo Takada and Karl Lagerfeld have left their mark on other properties, while the So Bangkok was designed in collaboration with Christian Lacroix. I suppose that explains a bit about the styling in general, but especially the ornate silk uniforms of some of the staff that you might catch a glimpse of. The ground floor also has a cafe and a full dessert lounge. We're going to head up a few floors to the actual reception area. This is one of those hotels where you need to take 2 elevators to go to your room. The lobby and bar here are stylish and festive, though especially at night, those giant LED monitors were very loud, visually speaking. There's also a decent-sized business center off to the side. Of course, for copyright reasons, I can't let you listen to it, but all throughout the property, they're playing really tasteful Christmas music. No loungy ambient music like I was probably expecting. Up on the 25th floor is the Club Signature, where my check-in took place as it was already quite late by the time I arrived. The cocktail on arrival was also a welcome surprise. The lounge itself is colorful to the extreme, but I'll say very honestly, in person, never did any of this design feel overdone or tacky or gimmicky, as I think it does read on camera. The combination of the colorful spaces directly next to darker cave-like areas gave it some sort of balance. And if you notice some of the mannequins around, those are real uniforms worn by the staff. But again, just some staff. There's a balance. The terrace gives us our first taste of this fantastic view, this direction facing south. The 10th floor is essentially their party floor, with this large lawn on the south side ready to be set up for cocktail parties and receptions. Through the corridor to the other side, we have the beautiful pool overlooking Lumphini Park. The pool spans almost the full width of the building and has plenty of seating around. Just in the distance, we can see the multitude of cranes busily working on the huge One Bangkok development. This hotel will surely get a boost when that eventually opens. On the far side, there's a small pool bar named the Water Club, as well as a fitness center cleverly named SoFit. As is expected for a business-leaning hotel, the gym is large and well-equipped. Now we're going to head up to the 24th floor for a quick tour of my room. Remember, I arrived late at night and I like to film before I mess up the rooms, so the lighting might not be the best. The design of the hotel rooms falls into one of 4 elemental categories: water, earth, wood, and metal. Each design becomes the theme of the room. I got the room that I hoped for, which was an earth room. The remaining element, fire, is the basis for the design of the common areas and the restaurants at the hotel. Again, in their words, rather than the brown tones you might expect, the designer instead opted for cool cobalt blue to create the sense of aura and enrichment. The open plain space evokes tranquility and light airiness that takes away the weight of the element. Sweeping archways are reminiscent of primeval Thai cave dwellers from the northeast, and language homage is paid to these important ancestors by reimagining their indigenous art style with modern flair to adorn the walls. I'll admit, I have no idea what I just said. I just think the room is pretty. When booking, I would just suggest not requesting a wood-themed room. They just look like normal hotel rooms. All of that fancy design language out of the way, I really like the layout for a few reasons. First, love that the lounging chair has a laptop table with it. Second, the workstation has another surface that you can pull out to increase the surface space. You'd think the layout of the room would make the room feel cluttered and small, or at least that's what I would think, but it doesn't, especially with the dark walls. It feels incredibly cozy. This light orb thing is probably the only true gimmicky part of the room. And of course, there are plenty of outlets throughout the room, but they're not all universal, only fitting EU pin or North American plugs. There is, of course, a sliding door to separate the bathroom as well. I'm not really sure how Art Deco blends with cave dwellings, but here we are. The unique bathroom layout really does give you a bit of extra space, which eats into the closet space though. But there's still plenty of space for storage. Illy coffee was provided, but just one pod with caffeine, and that machine was the most confusing pod machine I'd ever seen, especially when you haven't had coffee yet. When I checked in, I was told everything in the minibar was free. That's exciting, but then when you open the fridge, a bit less so. The toilet and shower rooms were both fairly oversized, and the shower was stocked with bulk bottles. I like that there were sets of the product at the tub, the sink, and the shower. Too many hotels think that it would be fun to make you take them back and forth. A nice early morning view of the park, looking north towards Siam and Sukhumvit. Breakfast was chargeable at 900 baht and was just okay. Probably not worth the price if it's not included in your rate. The Red Oven restaurant also has a small terrace which apparently is not in use. The buffet has a selection of Thai, Japanese, and Western dishes with an egg station as well. The only thing I truly didn't like at the hotel in general were the gloves. You're required to wear gloves when you're using the buffet. This is the only place I was in Thailand that did this. And I'll tell you why it's a ridiculous thing. Everyone wears the gloves and goes on about their day. It doesn't make anything more sanitary. Perfect example. I sat down at my table, I took my gloves off and put them on the table. The hostess came by and took them to throw them away. But she didn't change her gloves, so what's the point here? I'm all for absolutely anything and everything for health and safety, but not silly things like this. Alright, rant over. On the other side of the building, you'll find the other restaurant, Soshi. I'll admit, hanging Western utensils off of the lamps in a sushi restaurant, a bit odd. Maybe it was meant to be ironic. Just down the hall was a reception area for many meeting rooms that were always busy at the hotel. And finally, we have this. No words. Now onto the flip-flop score. The rooms were exactly as expected, and the condition was really good for a hotel approaching 10 years old. Service-wise, nothing was bad, but it did seem like the more staff there were on hand, the less attentive that they were, a 7 there. The common areas were all well laid out and designed with full points. For the location, it's good, but might not be the right fit for you if you're just looking for, let's say, a shopping hub. Cleanliness at full points, with the F&B venues getting a 9. For amenities, I'd like more than 1 cup of coffee please, and connectivity was good at 55 megabytes download. Tip, don't pay for the premium Wi-Fi. Finally, convenience was about as good as you can get at a 9. Overall, a solid 86 out of 100. If this is the specific location you need to be in, or you're commuting on the MRT, the So Bangkok might be a great option. I hope you enjoyed this video and liked it, and subscribe to see 2 new hotel or flight reviews every week. Hope to see you then.